Beneath our feet, a vast and ancient kingdom thrives. It is a world largely hidden from our view. This kingdom belongs to the fungi. When we walk through a forest, we might notice a mushroom pushing through the damp earth. We might see a colorful shelf fungus clinging to the bark of a fallen tree. These are merely the visible fruits of a much larger, more complex organism. They are the temporary expressions of a sprawling, intelligent network that permeates the soil, that permeates the wood, that permeates the very air we breathe. This network is alive. It is a living system with its own rules, its own language, and its own ancient wisdom. It has been shaping our planet for over 1 billion years, long before the first plants took root on land. For too long, we have overlooked this essential component of life. We have often classified fungi with plants, a simple mistake based on their stationary appearance. But fungi are a kingdom all their own, as different from plants as we are from them. In fact, genetically, fungi are more closely related to animals than they are to plants. This simple fact opens up a new way of seeing them. They are not passive bystanders in the ecosystem. They are active agents of change. They are the great decomposers, breaking down the dead to create new life. They are the master networkers, connecting trees and plants in a complex web of communication and resource sharing. This hidden world operates on principles of quiet efficiency and profound connection. It is a biological internet that underpins the health of our forests and ecosystems. The mycelium, the true body of the fungus, is a web of tiny threads called hyphae. These threads weave through the soil, creating a vast, sentient mat that can span for miles. This network is constantly sensing its environment, responding to changes, and making decisions. It seeks out nutrients, avoids toxins, and communicates with its partners. To understand fungi is to understand the fundamental interconnectedness of life on Earth. It is a lesson in cooperation, resilience, and the subtle, powerful forces that govern our world. In this exploration, we will peel back the layers of soil and mystery that surround this incredible kingdom. We will not rely on myth or speculation. Instead, we will ground our journey in hard facts and scientific observation. We will look through the lens of microscopes and analyze data from cutting-edge research. Our approach will be one of quiet awe, letting the evidence speak for itself. The world of fungi is far more strange, intelligent, and essential than most of us can imagine. By the end of our journey, you will see the ground beneath your feet not as inert dirt, but as a living, breathing, and thinking superorganism that sustains us all. To truly appreciate the genius of fungi, we must see them from multiple perspectives. Our journey will be structured into 3 main parts. Each part reveals a different layer of their complex existence. We'll move from evolutionary strategies down to the physics of their internal structures. First act, adaptation. Fungi are masters of survival, found in every conceivable environment. Frozen deserts of Antarctica, deepest ocean trenches, radioactive ruins of Chernobyl. How did they become so resilient? We'll trace their evolutionary history back over 1 billion years. We'll examine ecological roles: parasitic fungi controlling insect hosts, symbiotic mycorrhizal fungi partnering with over 90% of plants. We'll use mathematical models to show how they spread and strategize. Second act, physical characteristics. What is a mushroom, really? Beyond cap and stem, the full fungal anatomy. Start with the spore, the microscopic seed. Spores travel vast distances on the wind. Germination leads to hyphae, the building blocks of mycelium. We'll inspect cell wall structure made of chitin, the same material as insect exoskeletons. Powerful microscopy reveals the fungal cell's inner workings. We'll study the chemical compounds they make for defense, communication, predation. Third act, the hardware, the fungal network as a living computational system. Mycelial networks act as information and nutrient highways. We'll explore the physics of fluids, chemical signals moving through tubular systems. Tools scientists use: DNA sequencers, mapping genetic code, sophisticated sensors, measuring electrical pulses. Finally, combining biology, physics, network mathematics to explain how these structures are among the planet's smartest, most efficient networks. Our story begins in a place that is both familiar and profoundly mysterious, the forest floor. Imagine the soft light filtering through the canopy, illuminating a carpet of fallen leaves and moss. It is a scene of tranquility and decay. But beneath this surface of stillness, a silent and powerful process is unfolding. This is the domain of the fungi, the unseen architects of the ecosystem. They are diligently working, breaking down the complex organic matter of dead wood, fallen leaves. They are unlocking the essential nutrients, carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, and making them available for the next generation of life to use. Without this tireless work, the forest would choke on its own dead. The visuals for our journey will reflect this sense of quiet wonder and meticulous detail. We will begin with sweeping, cinematic shots of diverse forest landscapes, misty temperate rainforests, dry ancient woodlands. These broad views will establish the context, showing the sheer scale of the environments that fungi shape and inhabit. Then, we will move closer. Our cameras will glide across the forest floor, picking out the strange and beautiful forms of different fungal fruiting bodies. We will see the delicate gills of an amanita, the porous underside of a bolete, the otherworldly glow of a bioluminescent mushroom in the deep darkness of the night. This visual language will invite you to look closer and appreciate the beauty in the small details. From there, our perspective will shift dramatically. We will employ time-lapse photography to reveal the dynamic nature of fungal growth. You will witness a mushroom gracefully erupting from the soil over the course of a day, its cap unfurling like a slow-motion flower. You will see the mycelial network spreading through a petri dish, its tendrils advancing like the tributaries of a river seeking the path of least resistance. We will also dive into the microscopic realm. Using high-powered electron microscopes, we will journey inside the hyphae themselves, revealing the cellular machinery that drives this incredible organism. A close-up microscopic view of glowing, stained hyphae, showing the intricate branching patterns and the movement of cytoplasm within the tubes. These visuals will transform our understanding of fungi from static objects to dynamic living systems. To understand the remarkable adaptability of fungi, we must first travel back in time. Our journey begins over 1 billion years ago in a world that would be unrecognizable to us today. The planet's land masses were barren rock, devoid of the green cloak of vegetation we now take for granted. In this stark, primordial landscape, the first fungi made their appearance. Fossil evidence, such as the 1 billion-year-old microfossil Urosphira giraldi, suggests that fungi were among the very first complex life to colonize land. They had a significant head start on plants and on animals, giving them an immense evolutionary canvas to experiment and diversify. These early fungi were pioneers in the truest sense. They faced intense ultraviolet radiation, with no ozone layer to offer protection, and a landscape of sterile mineral rock. They developed the capacity to excrete powerful enzymes and acids, chemicals strong enough to break down rock surfaces. This process, known as bioweathering, allowed them to slowly etch away at minerals, extracting vital nutrients like phosphorus and iron. They were kickstarting soil formation, creating the foundation for future terrestrial life. As we mentioned earlier, they are more closely related to animals than to plants. We both belong to the same super kingdom, the Opisthokonta. This shared ancestry means we have common cellular machinery and metabolic pathways. It explains why fungi, like us, are heterotrophs. They cannot produce their own food and must absorb nutrients from their environment. Unlike plants that harness sunlight through photosynthesis, fungi mastered external digestion. Fungi are not passive inhabitants of their environments. They are active and powerful ecological engineers. Their most famous and fundamental role is that of the decomposer. In any forest, woodland, or your backyard garden, a silent army of saprophytic fungi is constantly at work. They are nature's ultimate recyclers. When a tree falls, an animal dies, or a leaf drops to the ground, it is the fungi that initiate the process of decay. Without them, our planet would be buried under an ever-accumulating pile of dead organic matter. This process of decomposition is more than just cleanup. It is a vital act of nutrient cycling that fuels the entire ecosystem. As fungi break down dead material, they unlock the essential elements that were trapped within it: carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, and dozens of other minerals. These nutrients are then released back into the soil in a form that plants can absorb through their roots. Fungi effectively act as a bridge between the dead and the living, ensuring the building blocks of life are continuously recirculated. One of the most profound adaptations of fungi is their ability to form intimate, mutually beneficial partnerships. The most widespread and ecologically significant of these is the mycorrhizal symbiosis. This is a relationship between fungal mycelium and the roots of plants. Over 90% of all plant species depend on these fungal partners for their survival and well-being. This ancient alliance began over 450 million years ago. In this partnership, there is a simple yet elegant exchange. The plant, through photosynthesis, produces sugars, an abundant source of energy-rich carbon. The fungus, with its vast and finely branching network of hyphae, is far more efficient at exploring the soil and extracting mineral nutrients and water than the plant's roots are alone. The fungus barters these hard-to-get minerals, particularly phosphorus and nitrogen, in exchange for the sugars from the plant. Scientists have termed this the Wood Wide Web. It is a biological information superhighway running through the forest soil. A well-established mother tree in a sunny spot can send excess sugars through the mycelial network to support younger, shaded seedlings. Plants can also use the network to send chemical warning signals to their neighbors about insect attacks, prompting them to ramp up their own chemical defenses before the threat arrives. It is not a collection of individual competing trees. It is a complex, cooperative society, a superorganism bound together by a shared fungal network. This network redistributes resources, enhances communication, and increases the overall resilience of the entire forest community. Fungi have not only adapted to thrive in lush, temperate environments, they have conquered some of the most extreme habitats on Earth. Consider the McMurdo Dry Valleys in Antarctica, one of the coldest and driest deserts on the planet. Cryptoendolithic fungi, hidden inside rock, colonize microscopic pore spaces in sandstone, shielded from desiccating winds and lethal UV radiation. The porous rock acts as a tiny greenhouse, trapping scarce moisture and warming enough to allow metabolic activity. The story is just as dramatic at the other end of the temperature spectrum. Fungi have been discovered thriving in deep-sea hydrothermal vents. They evolved heat-stable proteins and protective membranes to cope with high pressure, high temperature, and chemically toxic environments. They harness chemical energy from compounds like hydrogen sulfide, a process called chemosynthesis, surviving without sunlight. After the 1986 Chernobyl disaster, scientists found black fungi on Reactor 4's walls, one of the most radioactive places on Earth. Research shows melanin can convert gamma radiation into chemical energy for growth, much like chlorophyll converts sunlight. This suggests fungi might even thrive in outer space. Section 5. The Art of the Hunt. Predatory and Parasitic Fungi. While many fungi are peaceful decomposers or cooperative partners, some have evolved far more aggressive survival strategies. In the microscopic world of the soil, there is a constant struggle for resources, and some fungi have adapted to become active hunters. These are the nematode-trapping fungi. To capture this mobile prey, different fungal species have evolved an ingenious array of microscopic traps. Other predatory fungi have developed more active and sophisticated traps. The species Arthrobotrys oligospora, for example, creates constricting rings from 3 of its own cells. When an unsuspecting nematode swims through one of these loops, the cells of the ring can sense its presence through touch. In less than 1/10 of a second, the 3 cells inflate with water, swelling inwards and tightening the noose around the worm with incredible force. The trap holds the nematode fast, and the fungus then proceeds to grow hyphae into the worm's body, digesting it from the inside out. Beyond predation, many fungi have mastered the art of parasitism. Perhaps the most famous and visually striking examples are fungi from the genus Ophiocordyceps. These are the so-called zombie ant fungi. When a spore from one of these fungi lands on a specific species of ant, it germinates and penetrates the ant's exoskeleton. The mycelium then proliferates throughout the ant's body, but it carefully avoids the vital organs, keeping the host alive. The fungus then begins to produce chemicals that hijack the ant's central nervous system. It compels the ant to abandon its colony and normal behaviors. It forces the ant to climb up the stem of a plant to a specific height and orientation, where the temperature and humidity are ideal for the fungus to reproduce. In a final macabre act, the fungus forces the ant to clamp its mandibles onto the underside of a leaf in a death grip. A fruiting body, a stalk called a stroma, then erupts from the back of the ant's head. This stalk releases a new shower of spores onto the forest floor below, perfectly positioned to infect the next unsuspecting ant. As we conclude, understanding fungi is not just an academic exercise. It's a matter of profound importance for the future of our planet and our species. The lessons and tools of the fungal kingdom are directly relevant to today's great challenges. Fungi are the masters of sustainability. They are the planet's original recyclers. A perfect circular economy where nothing is wasted and everything becomes new life. In a world struggling with waste and pollution, the fungal model of decomposition and nutrient cycling offers a biological blueprint for a more regenerative human society. The mycelial network inspires better system design. It is decentralized. It is collaborative. It is highly efficient. It is incredibly resilient. As we build technological and social networks, we can learn from mycelial architecture. How can we create more robust energy grids? How can we build more equitable economic systems? How can we design more effective communication networks? The answers may come from emulating distributed intelligence and mutualistic support perfected by fungi hundreds of millions of years ago. The fungal pharmacy is still a largely untapped treasure chest. Within that unexplored genetic library could be cures for diseases, new sources of biofuel, novel materials and enzymes to break down plastics and other pollutants. Perhaps the deepest lesson is philosophical. Fungi challenge our notions of individuality and intelligence. This simple act of mindful observation is the first step toward a more profound relationship with the natural world and the hidden architects that shape it. The science of mycology is a dynamic and rapidly evolving field. The future of fungal research is incredibly bright. If this exploration has inspired you, please help support our channel. Your engagement allows us to continue creating this content. And as always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you for watching.